Dana Schwartz, and this is Rise or Die, the official companion podcast for Peacock's original series, Those About to Die. On this podcast, I go behind the scenes with the show's cast and creators to learn how they brought their brutal vision of Rome to life.
Gosh, people will freak out.
Rise or Die launches on July 18th. Watch or listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Nocturnal is a high-action horror thriller and a love letter to classic 80s buddy cop movies. Written by #1 New York Times bestselling author Scott Sigler, Nocturnal is a complete season with 45 episodes available wherever you get your podcasts.
Whoa! Hello,
Jennifer
and welcome back
Owen of House
to
Young.
me.
So what the?
My dulcet tones return to the at last. The Rock has come back.
Honestly, the
intro.
last time you were recording in this pod space, I think you were doing a lot of Santa impressions. So the seasons have
Sounds like me.
changed. There's a new baby. I mean, I've already talked about him, but this is the first time that you're on mic in the universe as Dad. What's up, Dad?
There's a baby. He's pretty cool. He's a cool guy. I'm a fan. And I'll be honest with you, Kristin, he's been taking up a lot of my time lately. He has a lot of demands.
Listen,
and none of them are negotiable.
He got the job description of baby, and he is fucking following just like his parent. He is, perfectionist. Wants to make sure that he hits all the bullet points.
Anything worth doing is worth doing well, says my son. As he screams directly into my face.
Oh my goodness! You're. I mean, let's be fair here. Your youngest son. Your oldest son also goes pretty hard on doing things that a dog is supposed to do.
Yeah, Frank does not fuck around. He did not come to play. Certainly not.
You're here for. I mean, like maybe you would have shown up regardless, but I know that one thing in particular has made you arrive to this space today, Jenny. Do you want to?
It's vital. It's part of my life essence. Mm-hmm. I've been training for this moment my entire existence. Kristin, it's time to announce officially the winner of the all-season, all-timer, no holds barred, ultimate sexual tension award winner for the ages.
I wonder who it's going to be. For the uninitiated, we were left with two pairings. They were completely shockingly, they were Buffy and Spike, and they were Buffy and Faith. Our bisexual.
And actually, it's a little more specific than that, Kristin.
Yes,
it's Buffy and
true.
Spike in season 6.
Yes.
1080p HGTV era. And it's Buffy and Faith season 3, the best season of anything ever.
1080p HGTV versus 5x5.
That's right.
Yeah. Our bisexual listenership found themselves in quite a tizzy over having to make a choice between these two pairings. But we're here, and Jenny, I was concerned. I was a bit concerned as the voting commenced because we had a lot of participants, 2,976 to be exact. And, in the buffering universe, I mean, I think we know who's going to win, but the buffering universe is a subset of the Buffyverse, and the Buffyverse is a big place. And if the vote gets into particular hands, this could have really gone anyway.
Indeed.
But it didn't.
It sure didn't, Kristin. Buffy and Spike rounded up 1,276 votes, but that was only 43% of the total voting populace. Buffy and Faith, thank God, as the good Lord intended, brought in 1,700, a nice even 1,700 votes, claiming 57% of the vote for the win. Congratulations, ladies.
Ladies, good job.
When asked for comments, the two young slayers reportedly said, "Really, we're just good friends."
Yep. Yep, that's correct. We're going to take some special time to craft the perfect trophy because this is not just a season win. This is a series win. It's the biggest win that you could have apart from moving in together with your favorite other slayer and kissing each other on the mouth and, doing all other manner of things. But maybe a steak and a knife crossed over each other, bronzed. Oh, no pun intended.
Wow.
Maybe the silhouette of them both dancing at the bronze. Who knows? We'll work on it.
You said that, and all I can picture is Mudflap Girls.
Maybe their trophy will be a truck where the Mudflaps are Buffy and Faith.
Wow.
Yeah. How about them apples? We would not be here without a couple of things. One, Jenny Owen Youngs, you've put in tireless math. You've made graphs. You've drawn pictures.
Yep. This is basically my Olympics.
Honestly. And you won. You won the gold. Congratulations. And two, Emily Brackets McLongstreet.
Brackets! Couldn't have done it without brackets at all.
From day one, from moment one, Emily has literally run every poll, made a million graphics, pulled so many quotes. Honestly, when I read the quotes that Emily pulls that correspond to the Sexual Attention Award contenders, I am like astounded by how cool we are. And I know we're not cool. I know it's just that Emily does a great job pulling quotes that make us seem really funny and really cool. So thank you.
Yeah, truly.
Emily, for fucking everything. We'll never be able to properly show our gratitude for all that you have done to get us here to the moment we all knew we would arrive at, which is that the populace has spoken. No one has more sexual tension than Buffy Summers and Faith Lehane.
Hooray!
Hooray! Jenny, it's fun to be back here with you, and I want to spend all day here with you, but it is just an introduction to the titular Doomcoming episode.
Doomcoming times Doomcoming.
Doomcoming by
Doomcoming.
The way that we title the podcast, too, the way they go into like pod feeds is like Doomcoming, a Yellowjackets podcast. 1.09 Doomcoming. So it really is bookends of Doomcoming in the pod today.
It's holding everything together.
But before we go, I just wanted to say that now that you're here with me, I'm having a really good time in the Patreon space with you reading the Buffy comics. In case you missed it, we are doing that. Jenny's teaching me how to read a comic book, and it is...
That's right.
It's really fun. We're back with all of our Scooby friends. Chaos has definitely begun in season 8. We already have put up the first episode for The Long Way Home. And just in a few weeks here, we're going to be putting up the second episode on Patreon covering, what's it called? No Future for You. Oh, that sounds very ominous.
Dun, dun, dun.
I have to say, I saw like a cover. Like I have to do promo for stuff, even though I haven't read I saw a cover and like, it just feels like perhaps there might be some sexual tension in the next 4 issues.
Something sexy might be happening.
Maybe happening. Anyway, Jenny, I'm happy to have you back, if even for just an intro.
As though I'm not in the rest of the pod.
Well, but that's like pre-dad Jenny. Like we're gonna roll over from dad Jenny to pre-dad Jenny. So I'm just happy to have you back in real time. And we'll see everybody next week. Oh, we should say that clearly this is a pod here that's covering Yellowjackets. And since our rewatch, we've gotten a trailer. So next episode, Jenny and I are going to do our best to dig deep into all the things that we might expect for season 2 of Yellowjackets coming back in March, which is like basically now.
Yes.
All right. See you on the other side.
Indeed. Welcome back to another thrilling installment of Doomcoming.
Sounds like you're getting a little tired. I feel like you're losing your steam, Jenny. Is it because this is the titular Doomcoming? Do you want to try one more time?
The food stores are low, Kristin. My energy is bottoming out. I can't use... I'm trying not to burn too many calories.
I understand. The grubs can only take you so far.
It's true. The grubs that I felt The grubs that I mentioned, the grubs that I confused with maggots. Today we are talking about, as you mentioned, Season 1, Episode 9, The Titular Doomcoming, which was written by Amani Rosa, Ashley Lyle, and Bart Nickerson, directed by Daisy Von Scherler Mayer, and originally aired January 9th, 2022.
This is the one. Are you ready for this shit? Are you ready for this fucking description?
I think so.
This is the one where, according to IMDb, you are cordially invited to the Doomcoming. On the brink of death, the Yellowjackets opt to throw one last rager before careening into oblivion. An increasingly paranoid Shauna struggles between keeping her cool and being Shauna.
Yeah, who got into the episode descriptions? Who gnawed their way through the Ziploc bag and got into the stores of narrative overview?
Honestly, I think that at this point, I can't really tell, but I think that at this point, the IMDb descriptions are pulled from like the Showtime descriptions. It's almost like when we put a podcast up, we have to write like a summary and then a full description. And I feel like, you know, for like shows like Buffy the Vampire Slayer or shows that we talk about that aired in the 90s, they like had to write the descriptions for IMDb because there was no digital, unless it was pulled from TV Guide. Like there wasn't a place that you would find them. But these, I think they just pulled from the same place because a lot of times when I watch it on Showtime, it's like the first sentence is in the Showtime clip, but not the full thing. So all that to say, I think these might be just like the official Showtime blurb writers here doing their thing.
Yes. Speaking of increasing paranoia, I would like to take a moment to recommend to our beautiful listeners a new little thriller that I just saw called Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
Oh, that's on my list.
It rips. It's so great.
I thought you were going to tell us more, Jenny. Is it about bodies, or should we go in not knowing anything?
It's about a group of 20-somethings who are having a hurricane party at one of their parents' mansions. And they decide to play a little game called Bodies, 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 which is sort of like Werewolf.
Oh, Werewolf. Wow. That's been a long time since I thought about that game.
So it's that kind of game.
Okay.
But then, oh no, things take a turn. And that's all I'll say. It's, I can't stop thinking about it. It pleased me greatly.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yes, it's been high on my list to watch, so now I'll move it even higher. I remember going to a hurricane party with you one time, Jenny, and I remember it because you drank one hurricane, the cocktail that was being served at the hurricane party, and I believe you were on your back laughing hysterically, drunk as a skunk from that one hurricane. It really stuck with me. It really did.
I'm a very economical drunk.
She's a cheap date.
I am. So, today I wrote the show notes.
There's a first for everything, kids.
You know, and we usually start by talking about what's the focus of this episode. Previous Kristin foci have included Shauna, or Misty, or Ty, or Nat, or Lottie/Jesus. I would like to put forth that I think episode 9, Doomcoming, the theme, is illusions.
The songwriter has entered the chat.
Some old ones are crumbling. Some new ones are being raised or emerging. Ooh. There's some walls are coming down. Some walls are going up. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, it does. It really does. I liked this. I did read the show notes before showing up to the taping, listeners. So I saw this and I was thinking, like, this really is, it's not that we've got no crossover between 96 and 21. Like, clearly they've been drawing the parallels for us. They've been setting them up. But it does feel like for the girls in 2021, their walls are like their boundaries between their 96 reality and 21 reality are like deeply shattering. Shauna's top amongst them. So yeah, great job. Great job. Illusions, the theme of episode 9.
So come with me now, if you would.
Okay, Andrew Owens Young.
To, what the hell?
Did you like that?
Owens.
Young.
Disgusting. To a magical year known as 1996. Our little friends who are in the woods, they're so hungry that they're digging up grubs. I've never seen this density of grubs in a dig site before, but then I guess I've never gone looking, really.
Well, yeah, and like, I don't know why I believe this to be true, but I feel like the further away you get from like a populated place, the more grubs you would find under the ground. Can any of our grub experts please write in and let me know if the less people there are, the more grubs there are under the ground? I would like to know if my theory holds any water.
Well, nobody's laying down any grub killer in the forest, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I think it's just like, it feels undisturbed. Like the grubs have just had years, centuries even, to like form their little whatever grubs live inside of.
Oh, yeah.
Van eating her grubs sad in the corner is the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I had once on tour. Actually, Jenny and I both have sad tour eating stories. But mine, I remember I was really sick. I was somewhere in the Midwest. I was staying at like this hotel that wasn't really a hotel. It was like when a college takes dorms and like makes a couple of them into rooms that they'll like, let their speakers stay in or whatever. It was like very linoleum everywhere, overhead, sort of like fluorescent lighting, and I was sick and I was so tired, and it was one of those situations where we had been driving and driving and driving. All of the restaurants in this particular town were closed. There were no stores that were open. We were exhausted, and so I wound up just eating cold soup out of a can in the bathroom while I was like running the hot water so I could also breathe because I was so congested. It was my sad eating grubs in the corner after a wolf attack moment. And Van reminded me of that.
I mean, everybody looks pretty miserable in this scene. They're all not happy to be eating grubs.
I can't believe you're not going to tell your sad tour eating story. Whatever.
Oh, sure. Okay, sure. I was in Belgium. It was both Thanksgiving and my birthday. Every like 6 years or so, my birthday is on Thanksgiving. I flew in and landed at a very late time, and there was nothing open once I got to the hotel. So my Thanksgiving/birthday dinner was one thing that's nice about Belgium is that in their vending machines, they have waffles. So I had a vending machine waffle for my birthday Thanksgiving dinner. One sad night long ago.
Thank you. I just felt like we were watching everybody eat really sad grubs. I wanted to both commune with that experience. Luckily, neither of us have ever eaten a grub.
Luckily. You know who else hasn't eaten a grub? Jackie.
Jackie's ready to die, like, partying. You know what I mean? She's like, bring it. Let's get shit-faced and die, people. I'm not eating a fucking grub.
She's ready to be literally any character on The Vampire Diaries. She is a teen who wants to die.
She's run out of Argyle and fucking vests, and that's it for Jackie. That is it. It's done.
Yeah, she says, what's the point?
So we get our... Basically, Mari, I've got to tell you, I was just talking to a couple of friends of mine who also watched Yellowjackets, but like most people, I think they watched it one time, you know, and you have like certain...
Reasonable.
Right. You do certain characters who you like, clearly you're like, Shauna. Everybody's like, yes, Shauna. And so we were talking about like which characters we most identified with, and I was like, Mari. And they were like, who? And I was like, no, I know, right? Because like the first time I watched it, I was like, Mari? Like I just didn't... there was so much happening with the other girls. Like it's like there's 3 levels. It's like there's 3 circles. Like the inner circle is like the girls we know lived. They get like the most focus. And then there's like Akila and Mari. And I feel like really Akila and Mari occupy that space where they're like they're like not. And then like at Doomcoming, I was like, who's this girl? Who are these people?
Yeah. All the red shirts come out to play for Doomcoming.
Yeah. But anyway, Mari, again, just really resonating with me, is like, listen, I put these fucking berries in a jar. Pretty sure they're alcohol now. You guys want to get shit-faced? I'm like, Kristin, once again, this is me. I am Mari.
Yes, and how convenient everyone has formal wear because there was going to be an awards dinner.
Yes, love
These
this.
people got so many fucking outfits.
Oh my God, Coach Ben in his little suit that he ties up around his half leg. Just the cutest man. The cutest man.
He's a cute man.
But yeah, they do a little idea generator in the cabin while eating grubs. What should we call that? We should party. We should get drunk. We should have like a dance for dying. We should celebrate dying.
Yep.
It is homecoming time at this point. Someone says moon homecoming. Thaisa says more like doom homecoming. And Lottie's like, let me tell you what, it's doom coming.
And then lightning crashes and the rain starts to pour and a wolf howls in the distance.
Oh, Nat is so stoked. I love how excited. Like, Nat could not have given a fuck until it got titled Doomcoming. And she's like, oh, shit, yeah. No, now I'm on board, guys. I'll put my makeup on for this thing. One thing that I enjoy about Ben, apart from the suit that I skipped ahead to, is someone asks if it's safe to drink these berries. And Ben says, do we care?
Nice.
Nice, Ben. Ben and Jackie
Correct.
starting to align in their interests. I love it.
So, you know, the first thing you want to do when you've decided to have a party is get a little arts and crafts shack going.
I'm so excited.
Get all your leathers and all your feathers and all your gold coins and emblems and your hot glue guns probably and your strings and streamers and whatnots.
I'm so excited for them in this moment. It's truly like they really are having more fun as they get closer to death, which I think rings true, generally speaking, you know. They figured it out. Let's just get shit-faced and do arts and crafts. This is what they should have been doing from the jump. From the beginning. Absolutely.
Totally.
Van is still it's so sad to see Van sad because Van is definitely the character that's like gonna keep her chin up and like keep everybody laughing. She's gonna tell you about the latest fucking Sandra Bullock movie that's come out. And so seeing her so sad and so isolated is especially upsetting. And it only gets more upsetting, but in a good way, when Thaisa uses her time making arts and crafts to make Van.
So surely somebody in our listenership is a leather worker of some kind. I'm happy that Van and Ty have cool little matching masks, but are you trying to tell me that they've got like tanning chemicals or whatever you use to tan leather and then cut it into little strips so you can braid it? And
but wait,
what's going
why
on
is
here?
This? Why would this be leather that they made themselves? Well, I just assumed it was like pleather from somebody's like Forever 21 pants or something. No,
I don't know.
Or like I assumed it was things that existed. But also, yes,
No, I got
Jenny,
the distinct impression that these are supposed to be, craft materials that have been sourced as things that have. Later, Mari is wearing a fur capelet that definitely came from allegedly something they
that makes sense to me. But yes, Jenny, you cared so much about my meaningful moment that you let me say, you actually let me tell everyone exactly what I was talking about. That's how much you cared.
Yes, correct. What were you saying?
Taissa makes Van a mask so that she has something to cover her scars. And, she's just been feeling like shit and really self-conscious about her face and everything else. And it's really lovely. These two, I think, have just an episode that's very powerful for viewers who are like me and queer and have been waiting a long time to see like very meaningful relationships between queer folks. So I just like it. I just think it's really lovely and nice.
I'm sorry I interrupted you, Kristin.
That's okay. That's what happens when you make the show notes, I stand vindicated. Travis is teaching Javi how to tie his tie. That also kills me. It's very sweet.
That's very cute.
Also kills Natalie, who's watching and is falling in love with Travis.
Misty makes a little boutonniere. And she brings it to Coach Ben and asks him to be her date. And she says, I know I'm not pretty. Where have we heard this before?
I know. And when I first watched this, when we watched this with the group, I was like, holy shit, that's exactly what she said to What's His Bucket on her date. So I was watching it really closely this time, and I was like, wait, but I think she actually, I think this is the source of it rather than Misty just being fucking Misty from the jump. I think she might mean it here. And you know what I mean? I don't know. I have to do more thinking about it, but if you watch her say it, it's I think she might mean it, but it works. And I think in the mind of Misty Quigley, then she puts that in a little drawer somewhere. That's oh, I told this cute boy I like that I know I'm not pretty, and that's what made him.
Say yes.
Say yes.
Say yes, we can go together, but only as friends. And Misty's like, good enough. I can
in her
work with
little
that.
overalls and sweater. Somebody in the chat said she looked like a little Cabbage Patch doll, and I hard agree.
Somebody on Reddit said that she looks like a female Chucky doll, which I think is closer.
Also true. Whatever she looks like, she is sincerely beside herself, so happy that Ben has said yes. And, as much as we know Misty, it's hard to not be happy that she's happy. For a minute, I did have a moment of feeling happy that Misty was happy. Okay.
Yeah, what could go wrong here?
Nothing.
I can't think of a thing.
Special shout out to Shauna's little head piece, her little flower crown that she's made. It is gorgeous. And maybe I don't know who made it, but it looks amazing. I think it wins the award for the best use of forest leaves and branches.
Wow.
If there are superlatives at this Doomcoming, I'm giving Shauna best use of bark and leaf.
Yes, very, very nice.
A lot of needle drops in this episode, Jenny.
Oh?
Yeah.
Well, we've got this one.
What is it?
Well, we've got a little collective soul, the world I know montage. I'm starting to feel, I don't think you're going to like this, but I feel like as the show progresses, the song placements are starting to feel less and less tonally connected to what's actually going on and more just here's a song that we really like from this time period that is in this sort of ballpark, I guess. But, maybe the mid-90s were also a time of less. It's not I think people weren't for example, writing for sync specifically as much. The radio was largely dominated by, I think, music that a lot of music that went in, at least in the top 40 realm, that when we analyze it today, it feels more sort of like randomized and less kind of formulaic, or less like it's held to less strict criteria in terms of like topic and tone and stuff.
Like lyrically specifically, right? It's like that.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like you could really, not that you can't be poetic in your lyrics now, but like if you want to make money in like a top 40 kind of sense, it seems like you have to simplify your message to up your odds in some cases. Or you can be Kate Bush and like get your song on Stranger Things and have a resurgence all over again, still talking about.
Sure, you could be
hill.
one of the, most important musical artists of the last 40 years and then have one of your biggest hits become a big hit again. Sure, lightning could strike that tree stump twice.
Well, but I really did mean
Kristin's
that.
guide for aspiring musicians.
No, but I mean that specifically because it's like that song would have not. I don't think that song would have been written for Stranger Things,
right?
And because it existed already, like the people who love it now don't know that it's this like big deal song. But it's like, hey, look, guys, somebody wrote a song before they gave a fuck about like writing for your show, and you used it in your show, and now everybody loves it, even though it's like wild and Kate Bush,
Yeah. Well, I mean, because it's like a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense that people would love it. But that's an example of a show that utilizes a lot of period-specific music.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I'm biased, but I just feel like Kate Bush song is appropriate for any scene, anytime, anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't actually finished the season, but it feels like they used it as their like secondary theme song. So like not even just placed once. But yeah, I agree. I think the collective soul specifically to me is like, I had, of course, the feelings of like, oh my God, this song. And it tonally, it feels like it's nice with the montage. But yeah, like textually, I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah. It also, I feel like the song is kind of like the proto Iris. It's like this song walked so Iris by Goo Goo Dolls could run.
How does Iris by Goo Goo Dolls go?
And I don't want the world to see me.
Right. I don't think that they'd understand.
Johnny Resnick doesn't growl. I'm sorry. That was an inappropriate Johnny Resnick imitation.
I just want you to know who I... Okay, so...
Just want you to know who he is.
During this collective soul song, Misty, we find out that there's a medicinal... Or there's like a trapper-keeper... apothecary situation.
Yes. Dr. Misty's good time trapper keeper.
Oh, and she's got a little pocket full of shrooms.
Yep. I wonder what she's going to do with all those mushrooms. That's a lot. It feels like a lot of I don't really have a comprehensive understanding of like appropriate mushroom dosing, but that just seems like a lot.
I don't know. That's
definitely a lot for one guy.
Yes, it's way too much for one guy. For her initial plan to get Ben high, it is far too many mushrooms. It does seem like the exact appropriate amount to get everyone a little trippy. A little trippy. Please put that in your Heinz diary for later. We'll be referencing what it is like to trip on mushrooms and what happens to these girls.
Mm-hmm.
But
based on what we've read about tripping on mushrooms.
Yes, of course. Only what we've read. But I think that this is a reason. When I remember the little Ziploc baggies full of mushroom stems, it was like a half or a third of the amount we see here on screen. It doesn't seem like an abundance.
Okay.
Anyway, Jackie's curling her hair with like pieces of cloth.
Didn't even know that's what was going on, but it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
now that you say.
Curling her hair. And I didn't notice this till this viewing. Lottie is looking at Laura Lee's dress, which has Laura Lee's name on the tag.
Oh no. what a perfectly Christian camp thing to do.
Yes. Laura Lee.
Oh no, R.I.P. Laura Lee. Laura Lee would not have been down with what goes on in this episode. That's why she had to explode last week.
Oh my God, she would have been so upset. This is totally beyond unethical, what happens. We'll get there.
Other party preparations going on. Shauna discovering she cannot zip her dress because she is pregante. Pregnant. Misty gets a little makeover from Jackie. Jackie I'm a boy. Is this a caboodle?
Oh yeah, I have in all caps in my notes, this caboodle.
Okay,
This
good.
is a
I was
caboodle.
pretty sure, but I'm happy to have confirmation.
For our younger listeners, although maybe if you're a younger listener, the caboodle has come back around again, so we just all know what a caboodle is. But it was an invention of the 90s, really, where it was like a toolbox but for ladies.
Yes, the tools of beauty is what it would contain.
Oh, I wanted a caboodle. I eventually did get a caboodle, and when I tell you, it was like one of the best days of my whole life when I could. And I mean, I'm still this person. Like I could not have been happier than like organizing all of my little fucking shit things in this little compartments in this fucking caboodle. Oh my God, just beside myself with joy.
Wow, you sound like me with my little workbench in the basement, laying out all my little screwdrivers and my little wrenches.
Truly, I mean, I think like let us know if this resonates with you, but like I think Jenny, you and I have some really overlapping satisfaction points, like we love to organize and, have things in order and what have you. And I feel like if you were like this, then your childhood probably, regardless of if you had like a toolbox or a caboodle or what the fuck you had, probably echoes this. Like I didn't really play with my Barbies. I kind of just like changed their clothes and reorganized their house. You know what I mean? Like that was my primary form of play. Was simply organizing. Anyway.
This makeover, I would say, Kristin, have you seen this meme format going around lately that has to do with Ali Sheedy's makeover in The Breakfast Club?
No.
Okay, well, basically the premise is she starts out really hot and then she gets a, quote, glow up, and then you're like, ugh.
Yeah, I can picture it.
Why is she wearing pink? I feel weird. I feel like Misty's makeover is similar. It's sort of like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, but she's happy. I mean, but also to nobody's belief, so is Ali Sheedy in The Breakfast Club. No one believes that Ali Sheedy's character.
Yes, finally.
Finally, I'm a woman.
Misty is asking Jackie for a little like Ben advice. She's like, I think he's afraid because of its society and its rules. And we're like, we think he's afraid because you poisoned him and tripped him on purpose.
And even though no one knows, you also literally destroyed the black box in the woods. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, but sweet Jackie, I love Jackie not giving a fuck. I love it so much. I will love it for the rest of this podcast episode taping because, she's good. The shit that comes out of Jackie's mouth this episode makes me so happy in so many ways. But this is a really nice one. She said, like, Misty's asking for dating advice and Jackie's like, you deserve someone who wants to be with you. Look, you're beautiful. That's so nice. That's like the nicest anyone has ever been to Misty.
She also says that her mom says when a girl sets her mind to it, there's nothing she can't get from a man.
Yikes. Jackie's mom.
Okay.
Also, the 1-2 punch of then Misty's mom being like, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. I'm like, oh my God, Misty literally combines both of those things. She's like, through his stomach, I will put mushrooms, and then I will get exactly what I want. Fuck.
Oh my God. Okay.
All right.
So, Lottie lights a candle. Let the doom coming begin. They've hung up a piece of the plane's body for Javi to strike like a gong.
Literally, my note is, but also a gong?
The thing is that everyone starts coming through this like arch that they've made, which seems to be, it's like streamered, and it's like, is that toilet paper? Because A, how do you guys still have toilet paper? And B, if you did still have toilet paper, wouldn't that be like a little bit more of a precious commodity?
Yeah, same note. I was like, what else could this be? Because certainly they would not use. As folks who have lived through the pandemic onslaught of 2020, we are aware of how high a value toilet paper carries. What we have, but also Jenny counterpoint. They think they're about to fucking die, so they're like, fuck it.
But really, still. See, question A: How do they still have? How did they have enough toilet paper on that plane for like 20 people? For what do we think we're at, like 6 weeks?
Maybe it's Skeleton Buddy's stores of toilet paper. I mean, he was
That's true. That's actually a great point. But I'm kind of picturing Skeleton Buddy as more of a leaf. Like
yeah.
The woods is my bathroom.
A skeleton man of the forest. Yes, no, I agree.
Man of the forest. Yes, it's like moss. I guess actually moss is a popular found toilet paper situation.
Is it? It's like Charmin Soft.
If you get lost in the woods, please don't use it just because I said it, because God forbid there is like a rash-inducing moss somewhere that I would then be responsible for you applying in your bathing suit area.
The career turn you never thought you would take, somebody emailing you like, this fucking rash on my ass is because of Jenny Owen Young's. Like, no. How would you have ever imagined you could get there?
Also, they have all these like torches that are just burning again, maybe Skeleton Buddy had, what do you need, kerosene or something? You like soak a rag in kerosene and then it like burns for a while it's like wrapped around a post.
But how did they do it in Lost? They always had burning torches. How did they do it in olden times when there was no gasoline?
Well,
burning torches seem like they go way back.
No, I know, but I feel like they go way back in places where there are materials specifically for making burning torches.
Man, this is episode 9. Questions. Illusions,
Kristin. I have to suspend my disbelief so that I can enjoy the show.
All right. Okay, so here we are. Fucking Doomcoming. I mean, Lottie... I feel like they just get to the party and Lottie's like, can we have a moment of silence for Laura Lee? And I'm like, I'm all about a moment of silence for Laura Lee, but we just got here. Could we have a minute before we have to remember our friend exploding?
Or could we have had the moment of silence before you banged the gong? Before people started like voguing through the toilet paper arch.
Yes.
Okay. I know what I do in most social situations where there's alcohol. Start singing Kiss from a Rose. It is a surefire way to get the party started. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you agree, Kristin?
I would. As a matter of fact, I think for all of our doubts about collective soul, this is a absolutely perfect music placement for this scene. This is truly
Kristin.
Authentic.
Lottie starts singing ba-ya-ya-ya-ya-ya-ya-ya. Mm-hmm. Then everyone starts joining in the sing-along, which is so powerful that it actually summons, it conjures the recording of a famed recording artist, probably Grammy-winning recording artist, and former spouse of Heidi Klum, Seal.
The husband of Heidi Klum, Seal.
Well, I mean, Kiss from a Rose is an incredible song and an amazing recording, and it lasts and lasts, and I think it will keep lasting. But also, he is the former husband of Heidi Klum.
Yes. This is actually true magic. If you start singing Kiss from a Rose in the woods with more than 3 other people, it will summon the vocals and instrumentation of the original song. It is a proven scientific
It's
fact.
like Bloody Mary, except it's seal.
It's for fun, not horror.
Yes. So the thing is, everyone, when you go to a dance, you're looking for two things: punch and stew. Stew and punch. Everyone is slurping down the rotten berry wine and the shroom stew. And in short order, Kristin, people are high as fuck.
So high. The gift that we are given of Misty eating stew while psychotically watching Ben eat his stew is one of my favorite clips from the episode, because it's one thing to like creepily watch Ben eat the stew has mushrooms in it, but to do it effectively while also spooning same stew into your mouth, that's talent. That's good shit. Yeah, everyone's getting together. I would actually counterpoint, Jenny. I think there are three things you look for at a dance, which is punch, stew, and sex. So,
we're, the three S's.
The first two lead to the third, as we all know. Eating stew and drinking punch leads to having sex.
Two of the horniest activities, like stew and punch, are the ultimate aphrodisiacs, especially in combination with one another.
No one needs champagne and oysters around here.
No.
Jackie snags Travis, so we haven't talked about this plan. I don't know if we want to pop over to the before this happens.
Yes, the thing is that Jackie doesn't give a fuck about anything anymore, and she has decided to fuck Travis. That is number one on her to-do. Number one on her to-do list is to not give any fucks, and then number two on her to-do list is Travis.
I had written down Jackie has ran out of all of her fucks to give except for the one she has left for Travis.
To give Travis. Yes.
This is great. I am telling you, as somebody who has had a handful of periods in my life where I have not given any fucks, some of the best shit in my life has come out of those times. This is good energy. Live your life, people. You know what I mean? I remember I had a job that paid me a lot of money, and I was like, I hate this fucking job. And I ran out of fucks to give. And I walked into my boss's office, and I was like, I cannot give a fuck. And he was like, what can I do for you to make this better? What? Said what? Sometimes not giving a fuck has positive results.
Wow.
Anyway, Jackie's got her little mitts on Travis. They're dancing to the gods singing Kiss from a Rose. Van and Ty still being cute. They arrive and they kiss immediately. They've been, Van has wanted to be public about their relationship. Taissa has not been ready. Taissa is fucking ready. She cut off all her fucking hair, made masks, and they fucking make out right there at prom. I mean, Doomcoming.
And then everyone applauds, which I can confirm is definitely the kind of reception you could count on when kissing a girl in public in 1996. Everyone was just like, yay! This rocks! Hooray!
I actually buy this. Gay expert Kristin Russo buys it, and here's why. I buy it. Now, this is a sports team, so I normally would not buy it for a sports team because I made out with somebody who was part of a sports team in the 90s, and she was having a great time until the sports team found out, and then we never kissed again. So that's the reality of what would probably happen. But here's why I buy it, Jenny. They're all about to die. And when you're about to die, you love
Things matter less.
You love seeing this. It's a happy time for everybody. Nobody fucking cares who's gay. Who cares?
Yeah. Okay. Good for them. Good for them. Later, when the kissing escalates to Bonetown, USA, population Van and Ty, Ty really wants to look upon Van's face and takes Van's little mask off. And Kristin, you're not going to believe this. There must be a fucking plastic surgeon somewhere in these woods because Van basically just looks like she drew some squiggly scars with a red marker on her face. She's healing up so incredibly well.
She is. And Jenny, we've talked about this before, and always from the vantage point of like, come on, guys. Like, there's no way that these scars would have healed up so quickly. But I was thinking about it, and like, what if the island doesn't want Van to die? Like, what if it's the island and not like poor decision making for like what if
Just
Ben
checking to make
hasn't-
sure you remember they're not actually on an island.
Oh, I
Checking.
remember. But by the end of
Okay.
this podcast, I hope everyone else has forgotten. But like, what if Ben lived to tell the tale of losing his leg to an axe from Misty without any antibiotics? And what if Van has like super healing? Like, what if there's something more here? Because otherwise, I agree. Otherwise, this is not realistic in any way, shape, or form. I mean, even if Van had healed, even if it had healed this much, which it wouldn't have, it would not have healed this well.
This well and this quickly. Wow.
Right. So I'm just like, I'm
Okay,
I'm writing,
I'm open to the supernatural possibilities.
just writing it in my Heinz diary is all I'm saying. Also, like the
Yeah.
fact that Shauna is still pregnant. Another, like, how? So, well, I'm writing it all down. Season 2, I'm ready for you. What do you got?
Yeah. She's definitely not, as we've discussed, getting enough calories.
This is a
Okay.
power. I'm sorry, but I have to be the one to like underline these powerful scenes between Van and Thaisa. They've kissed, they've come out, they're now literally fucking, and it's not stupid, and it's not. It's nothing bad. There's nothing bad about these two having sex, which I know that's a low bar, but kids, that's where we live, and I am happy, and I'm gonna just say it. Okay.
I'm happy that you're happy. It's great. We're all having a great time. This is great for them. How nice.
Yeah.
What else happens while everyone's high as hell? Okay. When Jackie starts slow dancing with Travis, doing her little Jackie business, Natalie is like, oh my God, Coach Ben, do you want to go drink real alcohol with me? Let's go do that. So they go lay in the woods together.
Mm-hmm.
And interestingly, when he offers her the bottle, which she happened to find under the porch a few weeks ago, nice move, man. She's like, weirdly, I haven't wanted it. I haven't wanted alcohol. What if the woods is healing her alcoholism?
Oh my God. See what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, but I really don't think that's what's happening.
No, but I do think they are clearly telling us that Nat has her focus somewhere else, and that is what is consuming her, and she's not interested in getting shit-faced right now.
Yep.
Hey, just like there's something about finding whiskey under the porch, and there's something about the whiskey at Travis. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, there's just why a bottle of whiskey underneath the porch? Really? It's a skeleton buddy.
That's not where I keep my whiskey. I can tell you that much.
Same, hard same. This is
Maybe
a huge...
Skeleton Buddy was hiding the whiskey from Triangle Buddy.
Oh, fucking Triangle Buddy. If you've ever had a Triangle Buddy, you know they are always drinking all the whiskey.
They've got a thirsty tooth.
Nat and Ben are so cute as a little duo. I love their friendship. And Ben, you know, we didn't mention this, but it'll grow for Ben as well. Ben, who we know is another queer character on the show, has a moment with Van and Ty before Nat and Ben go off into the woods where he's like, hey, that was really fucking cool. And then he leaves because he's not ready yet. He's got to go lay in the woods with his furry
He's like, I
friends.
really admired that for purely heterosexual reasons.
Yeah. I am not looking at your boobs. And if you want to glean anything from that, you can let me know.
Yeah, then that's on you.
Yeah.
So Nat and Coach have a little boyfriend chat, Coach and Misty, and Nat and Travis. But then, nobody can have a serious conversation because the shrooms kick in. And Coach is like, I think Misty poisoned me again. And Nat says, I think she poisoned all of us.
Nat is
Dun, dun,
stoked.
dun.
Yeah. Nat's like, oh, hell yeah. Immediately clocks this feeling as mushrooms. Clear to me that Natalie has never had a panic attack because if this happened to me, my first thought would be I'm dying. So good on you, Nat.
One other important thing that we missed that happens between Van and Taissa is that Van tells Taissa she looks like a really hot tree.
Don't worry, I'm going back to everyone being super fucking high. I would have never missed the really hot tree line. Yeah, because I start this in the woods segment with my caption of terrifying berry faces. Everyone has berries.
They've been slopping.
Oh my God. So this is going to be a long episode because apparently I'm full of stories today. But one time, me and my ex-girlfriend, Jen, not to be confused with my ex-wife, Jenny, went to San Diego, and I had recently been, struggling with some anxiety, a little bit of panic attack stuff. Fine. We went out to dinner. We were staying at a hotel, and we had drank a bunch of red wine, a lot of red wine. And we went back to the hotel room, and there was a message on the hotel landline. And when we checked it, it was just somebody breathing heavily into the phone. And it sent me into a panic spiral. And I just felt out of my body and dissociated. And I was like, what is happening? What is happening? And I looked at Jen, and she smiled, and her teeth were red. And I was
no.
She's brought me to San Diego to murder me.
Sure, yeah.
This is what this vibe is giving me in the woods, is Jen and red teeth. They're very scary. Misty's scariest amongst them, just berry-faced and high as fuck. And it doesn't get any better, Jenny, because then something, I don't even know. Something's going on. They've not established that there's anything supernatural in the woods, but let me tell you something. If one writer in the writer's room has eaten one mushroom anytime, I'm telling you that this is supernatural, because this shit is not what mushrooms feels like, looks like, nothing. No way. No how.
There's a lot of feeling it going around, Kristin.
They're do you feel that? Energy, Van, coming up from the ground. Then Shauna's baby moves, probably because it's high.
And hungry.
And so hungry. Taissa is then listening to Shauna's belly. Also, let me tell you something about mushrooms. I just cannot imagine that being pregnant. I mean, clearly don't do mushrooms. Don't do hallucinogenics if you're pregnant for obvious reasons. But just the bodily experience of being pregnant combined with the bodily experience of being on mushrooms seems like the worst combination of realities that anyone could ever craft. So
seems bad.
Lottie says, no, something isn't happening, Taissa. Something is coming. We won't be hungry much longer. I'm concerned about how close everyone is to Shauna's baby fetus when they're talking about not being hungry, but okay, whatever.
What a normal thing to say when absolutely no cause for any alarm of any sort.
No,
really.
Yeah, no, we won't be hungry, but it's a positive message, Jenny. We won't be hungry much longer. Hooray!
Yeah, optimism. You love to see it in the woods.
Oh my God. Okay, where to go next? There's a couple of I wanted to, I don't know if you wanted to, but I wanted to give a moment to Ben's, because Ben's going to come out in the woods. So I know we're going to talk about that before we get to the fucking in Jenny's notes. In Jenny's notes, there's a segment called Yikesville. So before we get to Yikesville.
Yeah. We have maybe one last picture to paint.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, right. I think that it's nice that Coach Ben gets to his coming out moment via, because this is mushrooms. If you want to know what mushrooms are like, this is mushrooms. It's not stupid. It's true. It's love. Holy shit, it's everything. It's the whole reason we're here. Go find Travis and tell him it will save us all. Go. This is mushrooms.
I feel like this was mushrooms until it will save us all. That is where it goes. It's just one too far. It's you know how that fashion lady is get dressed and then take off the last accessory you put on.
Yes.
It's like writers. Delete that last phrase,
I don't know.
please.
Maybe they've just had more mushroom trips like Kristin Russo than they have had like Jenny Owen Young's, because I definitely was very, very big and grandiose about my statements while on mushrooms. Unlike me in regular life.
Sure. Yeah, no, you're always very level,
Grounded.
almost monotone.
Yeah.
So at this, Natalie heads off into the woods looking for Travis to confess her true feelings. And then immediately, Misty rolls up, destroying the vibe. She's been listening from a place of concealment within the underbrush. And she's like, I heard what you said about us. Was clearly what she's thinking. And she throws herself on top of him, and he's like, bleh! And manages to push her off. And he's like, I don't love you. I love Paul, my boyfriend. I'm gay. Gay.
Did you hear that, Mom, Dad, God? Oh, my furry forest friends. I'm
Chris,
gay.
they must have had a gay in the writer's room, because this is the coming out process. First you come out to Misty, then you come out to your mom, then you come out to your dad, then you come out to God, and then you come out to your furry forest friends.
Yes, this is, I mean, you know, I wrote the book on it, Jenny, and this is exactly the order of events.
Yes, I remember this chapter. Kristin, today, I have a new neighbor across the street, and I was stepping out of my house to go walk to the post office. There's a little trail through the woods by my house that goes over to the post office that I love to trot down, and there's a little pond back there. And as I was coming out with a package under my arm at my front door, my neighbor was like, oh, hey, do you know turtles? And I was like, what? I thought no one would ever ask. But yes, I have been training my whole life for this moment. And she was like, do you know what kind of turtle this is? And I was like, well, I'm going to go get my field guide just to be sure. But I think it's a painted turtle. So hang on. And then I got my field guide and confirmed that it was indeed a painted turtle. And she was like, I don't know where it's trying to get to. Like, there's nowhere for it to go here. There's no like water, you know, on her property lot. Or even in the direction like beyond. So I was like, I think it might have come from this pond over there. So I got a little box and I took my little turtle friend back over to the pond.
Oh my God.
And put him down. And then he scooted away so fast into the wilderness. Why did I start telling you this?
Because as he scooted away, you whispered, I'm gay.
Exactly. Now, he isn't furry, but he definitely is my amphibious forest friend.
Wow.
I came out to him, of course.
I can't even believe you're here right now. I can't believe you didn't throw a whole party. That's like the best Jenny Owen Young's day of any Jenny Owen Young's day that could ever have been dayed. I mean, that's like a miracle. Wow.
Also, when I came in the house to get my field guide, Jess was like, far be it from me to prevent you from checking your field guide, but you should just take that turtle to the pond. And I was like, please step back, ma'am. You're standing between me and my field guide.
Wow, Jenny.
So huge day for me. Huge day. Oh, now I really regret not letting Frank see the turtle.
Don't worry, there'll be more
turtles.
turtles.
My one misstep.
I saved a turtle here in Kingston, New York.
Was it on the side of the road about to make a treacherous crossing? I feel like my entire childhood was almost exclusively made up with moments of my mom pulling over to the side of the road to pick up a turtle and move it to the other side.
Do
you know what kind of turtle you saved?
No,
Did you
because
check your
Jenny, you weren't there, and I don't have a field guide to turtles. I do have an amphibious. I have like 4 field guides. There's like fish, amphibians, birds, and something else. So I guess I could have looked it up, but I was in the car, so I didn't.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Turtles are reptiles, aren't they? Wait,
I don't know. I just said what you said. You're the expert.
No, I know. Hang on a second.
I actually do think that I have a field guide to reptiles. That sounds familiar.
Ugh, they're reptiles. What? I can't believe. Kristin, can you go back and edit it so that my reptilian forest friend, I can't believe.
It's okay. The people want it. You know what people love more than a genius is a human.
It's somebody who fucks up all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, look, as I've said many times, since I became a podcaster, I've really seen behind the curtain, and the days of yesteryear where I would be having a conversation with my podcast app, like, no, you've mentioned the wrong Targaryen or whatever. It's just a lot easier to listen to a podcast than to talk on one. That's all.
Okay, if we ever do a Game of Thrones podcast, which we won't, it's going to be called "You've Mentioned the Wrong Targaryen." A Game of Thrones podcast.
Did you watch the new?
I
Targaryen show?
I did watch it, Jenny. I did.
Oh my god!
I did watch it. I don't know if I have it in me.
I also don't know.
Yeah, it was a lot.
My review was like, do I really want to put myself through this again? Because I don't care about these people yet, and there's still time for me to just off board.
That is like literally my entire review. I was like, and I also felt like all of the like jarring elements of Game of Thrones were all contained in the one episode. And I was like, wow, this is a lot of things happening all at one time.
Yeah, miraculously, I don't remember anyone being raped.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of butts. No rape.
There was a lot of butts,
butts.
And there was a rapist. So there was like off-screen rape implied,
right?
And then a lot of blood,
a lot
of slicing off of body parts.
Yeah,
okay, anyway,
a lot of it was a lot. It was a pretty dramatic re-entry. But Jenny, nobody. I mean, I think I have an underrated tweet personally, but I'm going to share it here so that maybe I will get it to the fame it deserves. But my favorite part, and then we'll go back to the show you came here for, but my favorite part about the premiere episode of House of Dragons, did what? Many? Yeah. Is that the Targaryens and their little council, my tweet was like, Targaryen office setup, and it was one candle and then one of those giant Logiball mouses. You know, the like... I was like, this is a good tweet.
Yeah, what are those fucking things?
Right? I was like... So
the people have a right to know, Kristin.
Anyway.
Okay, look, that was a digression, but we can easily backtrack from Targaryens to dragons to reptiles, which turtles are definitely one of, to furry forest friends, and now we're back at the show.
Yes. The last thing I want to say about Ben screaming to the forest is that a movie I think I mentioned, I don't know, on a podcast I recently taped, who knows where or when, but is Drop Dead Gorgeous, one of my favorite humans, Brittany Murphy, and definitely one of my favorite moments in Drop Dead Gorgeous is when Brittany Murphy's character tells her father that her brother is gay, and she's like coming out of the theater and she's like, "He's gay, Dad! Gay!" She screams it so loud. And I was like, this is like almost there. It almost reached the appropriate levels to meet my favorite gay screaming that Brittany Murphy does.
Oh, there's actually one more. There's one more local stop on the Doomcoming Express before we get to Yikesville. Mm-hmm. And that is Jackie and Travis.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're kind of they are the funnel that gets us to Yikesville. So yes, of course.
They are in Skeleton Buddy's attic. And that's where they're going to lose their virginity to one another. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay.
No, Jenny, no. It's where they're going to make a pillow fort, clearly.
Right, sorry. They're going to make a pillow fort. They're going to, Kristin, they're going to make love.
Get out of here. You're fired. That's it. You know, there's one rule on this podcast. The only people allowed to say make love are boys to men. No one else.
I just want to say, look, I've never had heterosexual sex for the first time. But from everything I've heard, seen, and read, I don't think this is what it looks like.
It doesn't seem
Your thoughts?
Based on my field research, it does not seem to be accurate, but what if the thing that would make heterosexual sex better is being near death? What if that is...
Or what if the woods makes sex better supernaturally?
Yes. Yes. It heals your face, it heals your life, and it makes first-time sex a blast. I mean, just that Jackie... I think the thing that I struggle with the most is how much pleasure Jackie is not only taking from this experience, but also how aware of her body she is and what she needs to get to a pleasurable place. Because I just don't think
she wasn't doing that research with Jeff.
Yeah, exactly. She was not. We saw it. It was very upsetting. I actually don't want to think about that scene ever again.
Yeah, let's never go back there.
But like, most of us in the fucking 90s did not have a huge awareness of our bodies in high school or what would feel good until we like banged into a few fucking walls. It was not clear. So that's the part that I struggle with. Because even if they've given no fucks and that's why they're having a blast, it just seems like, wow, these are two people who've never had sex before. Interesting.
As a podcast network, our focus is bringing you shows you love to listen to. But we also sell merch related to those shows. And partnering with Shopify has made that both possible and simple for us to do. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor adventures, Shopify helps you sell everywhere because they've got you covered from their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system. What's so fantastic about Shopify is how, no matter how big you want to grow, they provide everything you need to get control of your business so you can take it to the next level. Businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm. That's all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/realm.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
Yes. And Jackie's review is, so that was sex. And then Travis's review is, I'm high as fuck.
Travis? Okay, hold on. Before we go there, I just want to give a shout to my favorite Jackie monologue, maybe? Travis says that he's in love with Nat. Important.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie says, you are so sweet and naive and dumb. I used to be dumb too. I used to think my first time having sex would matter. Shauna was fucking Jeff. My best friend was having sex with my boyfriend behind my back, but Shauna was right. Friendship doesn't matter. Love doesn't matter. They're just things we use to pretend we won't end up like dead cabin guy. That's all we are the whole time. We're just shells with nothing inside. I'm not asking again. The choice is yours. Travis is like, yeah, baby.
Yeah. Nothing gets a teen boy quite so hard as a healthy dollop of nihilism.
Oh my God. But yes, sorry. Now, they've had sex. Jackie says it was nice, and Travis's eyes, fuck.
She doesn't even, did she say it's nice?
I think she says it's nice because I was like, ouch.
It's nice.
Seemed more than nice.
Okay.
It seemed like Jackie had a blast.
Yeah. So different people get high at different speeds.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis has done absolutely nothing to indicate in any way that he is experiencing the effect of drugs at all until right now. I'm noting this because there was some chat when we did the live watch about like Travis being under the influence, Travis's consent. And I feel like that kind of like questions around that kind of like also fit into what we're about to talk about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But as far as we see, I think Travis is in control of his faculties and going about business as he chooses to do so.
Yeah,
until all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, did we disappear?"
Yeah, but also like, because it's really funny when you think about like, oh, the mushrooms just hit like after he was having sex or whatever. But also the lines he's given they seem really specific. And it's like, I'm just hoping that these lines are carrying two burdens. And one is what we get, which is, ha ha ha, he's so fucking high. He's asking questions like, but where are we? Am I even here? We're not here though, are we? We disappeared though, right? But that they're also carrying another thing that like, what if he isn't high? Like, what if he isn't fucking high? I'm writing it in my Heinz diary, okay? That's all I'm saying. What if he never was high? He did not seem like he was high before. But I'm just saying, what if he wasn't fucking high, Jenny? Okay?
I guess it's okay if that's what you're saying.
Well, he just doesn't seem, I'm just saying, okay? Just let me say.
You think with everything you've seen in this episode, you think Travis is not high moving forward?
It feels like he's fucked up, but I'm not sure that okay, so here's what I'm saying. I'll say it as clear as I can. Okay. I think that clearly there's people on mushrooms in the woods. They've all eaten the stew. Everybody's feeling fucked up. Even little Javi is shrooming, right? Mm-hmm. Then something happens when the girls leave the woods after they feel like there's something happening that to me is no longer, oh, these girls are just shrooming so hard. They're just tripping so hard. It feels like there is a definitive shift there in terms of like energy. And like, that's not mushrooms doing that. So I'm just saying, what if that shift has also impacted Travis? Because Travis, at the moment that those girls are howling in the fucking woods, ready to run back and say that like Travis doesn't belong to Jackie, he belongs to somebody else, is also the moment that Travis is saying, we disappeared though, right? But where are we? Am I here? We're not here though, are we? It just feels like maybe it's also something else, is all I'm saying. I don't know that.
Like the woods is
Yeah, like
it?
Triangle Buddy.
Triangle Buddy is affecting the howling mob headed for the house, and also Travis, but not Jackie, the person who also coincidentally didn't have the mushroom stew.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well.
It's a theory.
Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
But yes, I agree with you. I mean, again, everyone can have their own takes on consent, but I agree with you, Jenny. I think there's a big consent issue that's about to that we're about to happen upon, but I did not get that from the scene up in the attic.
Right. So in storm the aforementioned pack of women who've been howling and cacaing through the woods. Because Lottie said that Travis doesn't belong to Jackie, so they're on their way to set things right. And Thaisa says to Jackie when they enter, why would you do this to Natalie? I would like to posit that this is bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
That it's only being said to Jackie, if you really feel like, now, not that it's really any of your business, but if you really feel like Natalie and Travis are supposed to be together or whatever, that takes two people to fuck.
And also, it would be way more on Travis than it would be on Jackie.
Right, because from whoever's perspective, Thaisa's or Tradley shippers, Travis is the person who has a connection to Natalie, not Jackie.
And also Jackie gives him absolutely every opportunity to make his own choices. There is no I mean, yeah. And I don't think, I mean, I think that it's entirely fine that these two people had sex with each other. Hard stop.
Yeah.
But this is also very, I mean, if you want to take the everyone being excited about gay people in the 90s as possibly inaccurate, then this is accurate. This is some 90s internalized misogyny shit. This is exactly what we were fucking doing in the 90s.
Yeah, and definitely nobody's doing it anymore. Whew, thank God we're out of those dark ages.
Yeah, it's done now.
They like pull the side of her dress over. Ugh.
Yeah, they're like, look, they've fucked. You can tell because of this blood on her dress. Like, yikes, guys. But I'm excited.
They're a howling mass.
I'm excited for season 2 to hopefully fucking help us see whatever the fuck we are missing here, because it just feels like this is something that we don't have the tools to understand yet, is how this scene feels to me. It's Shauna, Akilah, Mari, and Lottie, right? They have... When does she get locked? They lock Jackie in the closet at some point very early on.
Okay, well, what happens is they look at the bloodstain on her dress. Lottie kisses Travis, and then Shauna kisses Travis, and then Lottie says, you took something that doesn't belong to you. And then Lottie, interestingly, says, this doesn't have anything to do with Natalie.
Right.
And then says Jackie doesn't matter anymore, and then locks Jackie up.
Right. Because we've been thinking everyone's mad because of Natalie, but actually Lottie has not given a fuck about Natalie the whole time. Travis doesn't belong to Jackie because he belongs to Triangle Bunny? Skeleton Bunny?
To Skeleton Bunny? To the benevolent spirit of the wood?
Who knows? But they like sort of push Travis up on something. I don't even know exactly a chair maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
And Shauna and Akilah and Mari and Lottie are like on him. Like, what are those? You know how Giles gets in with those 3 witches?
Oh, what are they? Succubi or something?
Succubi, yes. These girls are like have suddenly transformed into. They're moving like succubi. They're behaving like succubi. They're shot with these like fisheye lenses that makes like Shauna's eyes look really big. It's really focused on like the red berries like on their lips and their mouths and their faces. It's very, very, it turns a corner from like creepy to like horror. It is very rapey. Travis is saying, please don't stop, wait. They are absolutely not listening to anything he's saying. My favorite part of this scene is that Van and Ty are off in the corner. They're like, have fun.
They're doing their own thing. It is kind of funny when Travis like clocks them and then like laughs in a way that like feels maybe a little more accurate to the era. Not maliciously, just like, oh, cool.
Hey, lesbians. So Travis is saying, wait, stop. He breaks free of them. And when he runs out the door, we then see a stag. They call it a stag, a deer, whatever, run.
Yeah. Yep.
It's very, and we're almost to the present day, which is really important because the first scene of this episode is shot just like this scene, where there's these flashes of like, wait, which one is the reality? Wait, it was Travis. Now it's a deer. It's a deer. Is it Travis? Is it a deer? What's happening? I'd like to say again, if you have not eaten mushrooms, you will not confuse a person for a deer. That is not how it works. Okay, don't worry. You won't put a pine cone in anyone's mouth forcefully on mushrooms. That is. You might put a pine cone in your own mouth just to see how it feels, but you would not do any of this. Okay.
So Natalie, en route to find Travis, happens to hear Jackie screaming from her place of containment and lets her out while the group of girls is running Travis down. And Shauna she has a knife to this boy's throat as Natalie and Jackie happen to roll up, and they stop her. Natalie's like, Travis, are you okay? He's like, I'm fine, and disappears into the woods. Which, like, understandable. I would be avoiding all women at this moment.
For the rest of my life, probably.
Shauna is like, it's very clear that Shauna is like really embarrassed that Jackie has seen her like this.
Yeah.
She's like, Jackie, ugh, it's not what it looks like.
Feels like she comes out of, like, she seems even like, what the fuck just happened? Like,
yeah.
Again, impossible to know from like just gleaning from facial expressions, but it very much feels like when Nat says, what the fuck are you doing? The general trance that they are in is broken for everyone except for Lottie, who remains in this place. Lottie says, it wants us to, first of all. Okay, as Shauna has the knife. Nat, are you okay? Travis runs into the woods and Lottie says, it's in all of us, you know, even him. Even you. Then she laughs hysterically. Yeah. Also, when they run, when the girls run out after Travis / the stag, Javi was abandoned in the woods when they all left, and he's made it back to the house. He sees Shauna, and he's like, Shauna, and she pulls like a dark willow. She literally opens her mouth and is like, run. Like, the voice that comes out of her body is like not Shauna's voice.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah. It's scary. Yikesville, indeed. Anyway, I guess we can.
Okay.
We might as well go right from Yikesville 96 to Yikesville 21, which is the opening scene of this episode. Well, almost the opening scene of this episode.
What's the opening scene?
Oh, no, you're right. It is the opening scene. Sorry.
No.
The opening scene of this episode.
Yeah, Shauna's over at Adam's, as you may recall from the end of the last episode, and she's all like, I know about the blackmail. Adam jumping in like a real himbo hero, trying to roleplay. Oh, so you're a bad girl who needs to be blackmailed.
She's like, you stole my journals. And he's like, wait, what? Hold on. What? I can't.
Your journals?
He really, at least the writers want us to believe, he has no fucking idea. I mean, we know that he has no fucking idea, of course, because this episode has the grand reveal that Jeff is our blackmailer. Holy shit. But like, it just seems like Adam has absolutely no idea about anything. And the only thing that he's ever done is like have a crush on Shauna and then like look a little bit into who she is.
Yeah. As far as we know. Shauna, what are you doing making the safe combination the flight number? Girl?
Also, flight 2525.
Pick literally anything else.
I was like, this flight is so 5x5, baby. You know what I mean? 5x5 is 25 times 2525 is the flight number.
Wow.
Yeah. I said in this scene.
So you're saying it's 5x5 parentheses by 5x5 parentheses.
Yeah, it's 5x5 by 5x5.
Yes, nice.
This, I wrote down smoke monster noise for this scene. It felt very smoke monster noisy when this. Okay, so Shauna walks in. She's like, "Who the fuck are you?" Adam thinks she wants to role play. She's going through all of his drawers. She finds one drawer that has the People as Jenny would say, Chekhov's People magazine, even though it's not. And a book called Skin in the Game, The Unauthorized Story of Flight 2525. Really wanted this to be written by Allie, but there was there's no author name given.
Dang it.
As this scene is unfolding, Shauna is probably having PTSD, like, to the nth degree situation. And the way they show that to us is with these really quick flashes of some clips we've seen, and I think some we haven't. A flash of a bloody corpse being dragged through the snow. Seen it.
Yep. Check.
They're eating meat. Allie's broken leg is in this, which I took particular note for because I was like, that's weird to be in here. That's interesting. Having teenage Jeff car sex. Slitting a wolf's throat. Don't think that is something we've seen.
Doesn't feel like any of our business.
Is she choking someone on a plane?
Is that what's happening?
I watched it so many times, but the rabbit that she skinned, and also she's turning. Shauna is both young Shauna and adult Shauna in this scene as she has the knife and she's about to stab Adam. I think this is really a nicely shot scene. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Great choices. Telling us a lot. This whole time, Adam is maintaining his innocence, and then it's teen Shauna who is, visible when she stabs him in the stomach.
Yeah.
And he falls down dead. Now, I feel like you hear a lot. I was trying to think of where I heard this, Kristin, that stomach wounds are the ones that it takes the longest to die from because you have to bleed out and it takes forever. Did I hear this in a bunch of TV shows, like a bunch of procedural shows? Did I hear this in one Quentin Tarantino movie? Do you know where you've heard it? If you've heard it?
I don't know. It just seems like it would biologically make the most sense that it would take if it was only the stomach. I mean, but could she have put the knife in and up? Because if she went up, then she's now, if you're in aorta town, you know what I mean? If you're anywhere near, if you go up, then you, but I still don't think anyone would ever die this fast. This is fast even for aortas.
Yeah. He's like, I know you guys have a busy episode. You have a lot to get through.
I'm not going to pull a Paul Rubens. It's like death is somewhere between Adam dying in Yellowjackets and Paul Rubens dying in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie. It's like split the difference, and that's realistic. Also, Adam, this is a small thing, but I was like, he's literally wearing a meditation shirt. I'm pretty sure it's like meditation retreat, something, as he's bleeding out. So Adam's dead. And back to Glittergate. Let's go back into the closet, kids.
Shauna's putting her little murder knife into her little murder safe.
Shauna.
And discovers, the journals are there. Were they there the whole time? Ooh. And then she decides to ask Jeff about the glitter in the closet.
God, this family is the only one good at lying is Callie.
Jeff's, wow, gee whiz, no idea what you're talking about face.
What is glitter?
He's like, what? And then he huffs and then he puffs before he's like, okay, so listen. Let me just tell you everything. Oh gosh, the FurnitureFam.com is running me out of business, and I took out a little loan, but it turns out I took out a loan from some bad people, and I figured Thaisa or Natalie might have the cash, so he only texted Thaisa and Natalie, and we still aren't exactly sure why he would think Natalie would have cash. I have a prediction.
Okay.
Because Juliette Lewis famously has had dabblings in a music career across the span of her acting career. I have a feeling that they're going to do a Natalie does a music thing. Post Wilderness, but a long time ago.
Right.
And then she made a bunch of money.
Okay.
But then spent most of it on
drugs.
Coke.
Right. She's like the Charlie of Lost. She's the
Yes, she's like, you all, everybody. Everybody.
Jenny, I would like to let you know that FurnitureFam.com is available for purchase. So
incredible.
just in case you want to scoop that up.
Gone are the days of a TV show scooping up all the related URLs and making like fake sites for
I love
various
I love
businesses.
those days. Those were my best days. So yeah, this is the crossover between The Sopranos and Yellowjackets. Jeff has gotten in with some of the Soprano or Soprano adjacent dudes. They're bad dudes. They're bad. They're complicated though. They cry about ducks. They go to therapy. You know what I mean? Everybody's nuanced.
Yeah.
And then Shauna's like, well, Jeff is like, so everything's fine now though. Like I paid them and it's fine.
Shauna's like, well. The thing is that I accidentally also like killed this guy who I thought was blackmailing us, and he's like, what? Who? And she's like, well, it's the guy that I got in the car accident with. You know, the more I got to know him, and Jeff's like, you got to know him? She's like, well, I had a drink with him at this hotel, and he's like, why were you there? And she's like, well, I was following you. And then she's like, okay, let's just like cut through all the shit. I'm not the only one having an affair. I was there following you and Bianca. And he's like, oh, God. Bianca's a bad, bad, bad girl.
I'm afraid of Bianca, and you know he is. Terrified, sweet Jeff.
Yeah, he's so scared of her. And so then we have two revelations from Jeff that are at very different levels of intensity. First, Jeff is like, oh, so you're having an affair? And she's like, I can't believe you thought I was going to book club. And he's like, there's no book club. So you're having an affair. Is it about a 2? And there's no book club. Is it about a 75 on a scale of 1 to 10?
This is canonically touted as the best line in the first season of this show. Incredible performance. I guffaw. I made a noise like I've never made when he said this line in real time.
It's good. I think there's no book club and Misty surprise snorting all the coke are like the two best things.
Yes, I agree. I don't go with the majority on that. I think Misty snorting all the coke is funnier for me than even this, but they're both high.
I mean, there's no book club is more of a long con like narrative guffaw delivered by a perfect God's favorite himbo. And Misty snorting a coke is like the perfect combination of like Misty personality and like physical comedy.
Yes.
You know?
Agree. Oh, delicious. Lines I also like in this scene when Jeff says, so what do you mean you murdered? You killed somebody? Fucking Shauna. I stabbed him and now he's dead. Amazing. Fact. Literal fact. Thank you, Shauna.
Good.
Also, sweet Jeff, you stayed in touch with the guy you rear-ended? That's weird. That's how he says it. I love him
it's
so much.
Weird.
It's
That's definitely what it is. Weird.
Oh, God. Jeff. Okay, so we move from the bedroom down to the dining room where Shauna is now drinking from a bottle of vodka because there is no more Xanax. Fair, honestly.
Or, I mean, maybe she took the last Xanax and she's just courtesy notifying Jeff.
Oh.
Jeff is it's leaping into action. He's like, here is all of this financial information. I'm going to Jeff wants to take the fall for this woman. Jeff, I am shaking my damn head, as the kids say. Don't do it, sir.
Oh, Jeff. I mean, because what he says, too, it's like bad enough that, it's like nice, but also no, Jeff, don't. He says, I'm not going to let you go down for some stupid shit that I did. Jeff, sir.
Jeff, no.
Sir?
What?
Sir.
Incorrect.
Yes, you did do some stupid shit. However, somebody else did some even stupider shit. So,
correct.
Just maybe, but thankfully, Shauna's like, don't do that for these reasons. It won't work out because basically all of our lives would be over even if you took the fall, because they would find out about shit.
Yeah, they would find out about like what Jeff was up to, and then people would know that there was something worth blackmailing the Yellowjackets for, and then they might find out what that is, whatever it is. And then Callie's life would be bad. And Shauna's like, okay, so nobody else knows about the blackmail, right? Like, let's just like start getting our ducks in a row. And Jeff is like, yeah, totally. Oh, except Randy.
Randy.
Oh, Jeff, sweet Jeff and his best buddy,
I trust
Randy.
I'm going to tell you what, I trust Randy more than any of the Yellowjackets. So
yeah, that's true. He's far less likely to murder you than any of the rest of them, I think. And Shauna's like, oh my gosh, when did we become the people who like lie and cheat but stay together, whatever? And Jeff's like, we've always been these people.
Yeah.
Secrets have always been part of us. He's wearing like a fedora and he's only lit from one side and he's like smoking a cigarette and illusions are being destroyed.
I love that line. I mean, that was a very funny delivery,
great.
but it's really good. It's really nice.
No,
yeah.
it is really good.
Yeah.
And then, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
And then Sweet Jeff has his one good idea for the day. Well, it's sort of a good idea. It's probably a bad idea.
I think maybe an end result
it's
might
a terrible
be a bad idea, but yeah.
He's like, hey, why not just tell the other girls? Also, like, the idea of like referring to these like four women as like a group of girls, like the other girls, is so funny. Just like knowing the tip of the iceberg of what each of them is capable of.
Yeah.
But just tell the other girls that Adam was the blackmailer. Why can't they just think he was the blackmailer? This will be great.
Mm-hmm.
This
You
will
guys,
work
I
out
can think of like 400
so well.
reasons for you, just sitting here calmly, barely putting in any effort.
So, just to like circle back to this, because I think we've talked about it, maybe in Just What's the Buzz, I'm not sure. But we were kind of like confused about if the text messages and the postcards were connected, but they were not. They were not. The postcards came from someone else. The postcards are not Jeff's domain. I know we love thinking about Jeff going to vistaprint.com and being like, let me find a nice public domain mountain landscape. What's the right font for Wish You Were Here? Could I make a PNG of Skeleton Buddy? I mean, could I make a PNG of Triangle Buddy?
If this show in its second season does not give me the footage of Randy and Jeff trying to figure out how to make that goddamn Triangle Buddy emoji, I will lose my shit. I will lose my shit. Give me these two men trying to figure that shit out, though. Okay? But yes.
Okay.
Then they have this conversation about the journals, which, listen, I definitely fall victim a little quicker than most of, oh, you murdered somebody and you are about to lie to these girls but this is sweet. This is who I am. This is nice. If you're going to be in love and also a murderer, this is sweet. Okay. This is what I have to say about this.
No, I'm with you. The real sting of this scene, because like Jeff is like, I read your journals years ago and I still love you, basically. And the sting of this scene is that somehow Jeff gets to know more than we know.
I know.
Doesn't that just hurt?
It
Doesn't that
does
feel
hurt.
a little wrong?
It does hurt. And also
Jeff,
just like,
share what you know.
We don't talk about cannibalism a lot on this show, especially for a show that is touted as a show about cannibalism. But like, and I said this all throughout watching this season of this show. It sure doesn't seem like cannibalism is what everyone's worried about. Like, that does not seem like the thing that these girls are panicked about to me. It has never seemed that way. Everything is, and we'll get to the Misty and Jessica conversation, but it's like surviving in the woods by having to eat people is horrifying, But also, that has actually happened.
We've done that before.
Been there, done that, okay?
Nobody
So,
liked it, but it happened, and it's fine.
First, as a child, I learned that some people had to drink their own pee. Then I learned some people had to eat other people. It's the facts of life, okay? This is what it is.
You gotta use the resources that are available to you. The circle of life.
Anyway, Jeff does. Jeff knows more than we do now. He's on the inside. He's on the inner circle.
So Shauna fucking rounds up 3/4 of Teen Girl Squad.
Wait. Let me have my romantic moment.
Oh, sorry.
All this time, Shauna says, you knew everything. And even now, after what just happened, and you, and he says, Shauna, of course I still love you. And then she says, okay, I'll be home soon. Romance! Love! Marriage.
I'll be home soon. I'm just going to go take care of this body and then I'll be home soon.
Oh my God, the amount of play that Callie's fucking toddler duffel bag is getting at this point. It's back in play. It's back in action. It's now left the house again because it's going to get planted at Adam's.
Okay, so Nat and Thaisa come into Adam's apartment and we get, for the second time, this truly wonderful gasp from Thaisa. She does the same gasp that she did when she found out that Shauna was having an affair as she does at Adam's dead body.
You killed it.
It's great.
You really did it, Shauna. You really did it.
And Shauna's like, yeah, this is Adam. I think he's the blackmailer. He's the guy we got into a car accident and then we started hooking up. And Tina's like, this is your boyfriend? Shauna's like, oh, he attacked me. He attacked me. It was self-defense. Natalie's like, where's my money? Shauna's like, oh, look, he also, pulling him out of the crafty duffel bag, he also had my journal from the wilderness.
She does the same. She literally does show and tell. She's like, and also the burner phone. BURNER, burner phone, also in the bag. Shauna, get your shit together.
Also, the whole time, they're doing this, everybody's talking at the top of their voices. Natalie is like, I can't believe you killed him, Shauna. At the fucking top of her lungs.
Nat is poking Adam's dead body, and Thaisa and Shauna are like, ew, stop it. Ew, 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 ew. Gross from such a dead body. Ew.
They're trying to figure out what to do with him, and Shauna's like, well, we can't exactly weekend at Bernie's him out of the door. Arguably the most iconic movie about a dead body that has to be made to look as though it's not dead.
Oh, yeah. Is there any other? So it's,
that's my joke.
This is good. Listen, you know what people like to watch incredibly traumatized people respond to things that would be shocking to you if you were not deeply traumatized in a way that is I don't know, LOL. Because deep down, I heard Bill Nye on the radio the other day. He's got this series coming out called The End Is Nigh, which is an 8-episode series where in each episode, I guess he dies because of either a natural disaster or a disaster caused by humans. And then halfway through the episode, he dies from that. And then the back half of the episode is here's how we could have prevented this, or here are things you should know, or we shouldn't dry up the fucking water in the Midwest because then we'll have no food and we'll all die. Anyway, he was saying how humans are such fascinating creatures because when things are good and feeling good and lovely, they love to watch rom-coms and happy things and whatever. And when humans are just facing death and destruction, we are there's a pandemic killing millions. Let's watch Contagion. We are so fucking weird. Anyway, that is not an A to B situation, but I just think that we as humans most of us have a deep enjoyment of seeing shit like this because it like reaches down to some other piece of us, you know, that like I just find it fascinating how much delight we take from a scene like this with three adult women and a dead man. And we're like, Thaisa, LOL.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's turn this.
But
let's turn
don't
this
worry, Natalie has an idea that we'll
Great.
get into.
Right. I was hoping we could bring one more woman into the party.
Yeah, time for one more lady. Okay, so over at Misty Quigley's, she's been chilling with Jessica. Jessica's been telling her tales of, you know, her busting up drug runners. Jessica's drinking a Slice orange soda, which also feels like exactly the soda I would guess that Misty would be stocking. I have an appreciation for orange soda, which is I feel like it's not a popular opinion, but it does feel like the weird soda that you would think, oh, Misty would have that.
Yeah, I mean, my only memories of orange soda are really positive, but I have to say I kind of forgot that there was a such thing as orange soda. It's been probably the 90s was the last time I had a sip of orange soda, and now I'm curious.
Okay, well, next episode, let's get some Slice orange sodas to try.
Finale, the grand finale.
Yes. Okay, so Jessica's like, it's interesting to watch these two women work each other.
Yeah.
You know, Jessica's like poking Misty for more info about the woods. She's like, oh, it must have been rough and you must have some stories. And Misty's like, oh, well, we were all friends, so it like wasn't a big deal. And Jessica was like, the rest of them have been in touch for 25 years, but not with you. That's interesting. That doesn't sound like what friends would do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know about you, and I'm not putting this on you, but I would feel left out. Jessica working it.
Yeah. Okay, so a little while later, Misty is showing Jessica her makeup trial for the high school reunion. And Jessica's like, it's not too early to start workshopping your image. Do you have a lipstick shade that's more innocent, librarian? And Misty says, I'm so glad I kidnapped you before the reunion.
Also, Misty saying, my whole life I thought I was a spring, but maybe I'm a winter has to go on with some of my top Misty quotes lines. This is so fucking good. So good.
So their chats have moved forward. They're talking about meeting with the ghostwriter. They're talking about a PR team. They're running down sound bites, and Misty is nailing it. Misty is like the Survivor version, like just career Survivor version of Thaisa as a politician.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's chills down my back.
I mean, you got to give them credit. They're all really good at exactly what they're really good at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they've really honed their particular skill sets. Yeah. So Jessica takes a little turn into the place she's been wanting to get to. So, I mean, you guys, this is how I would do it. Just so you know, if I were a journalist locked in Misty's basement, this is also how I would casually try to slide it into the conversation. I'd be like, do, sipping my orange soda. So, I mean, like, you guys ate each other. I mean, that's what happened, right? Like, it's fine. It's whatever. And she's like, you know, they're not going to blame you. They're going to sympathize with you. And this scene is fascinating to me because Misty takes the bait. I mean, she takes the bait as like, ooh, this is a good story to spin. Ooh, I could have people really sympathizing with me, but none of this gives us confirmation of anything that happens. It only gives us confirmation of the fact that Misty wants everyone to fucking love her. Like, that is all that this does. And I think writing-wise, that just seems so brilliant to me of like, the only real conversation we get and barely get about fucking cannibalism is like this. I just couldn't live with it a minute longer. When we came back, we couldn't get help. We couldn't betray the team. Is any of this true?
Just sounds like PR talking points to me.
Yeah. Okay, so fucking ding dong.
Ding dong.
But Jenny, before we get to ding dong, because that's the last thing I think we have to talk about is this last scene. I just want to skip backwards a hot second to adult Natalie embodying Kristin Russo, because all she wants is her peanut M&Ms. She's at the fucking motel. She's in the motel parking lot. The fucking peanut M&Ms. When I tell you, Jenny, I'm not shitting you. I was watching the episode and I was eating peanut M&Ms.
Wow.
I was eating them and the scene was happening. And I was like,
the wilderness wanted you to have the M&Ms.
Peanut M&Ms are my favorite candy by like 1 million miles. No other candy makes me as happy. Anyway, her peanut M&Ms get stuck in the fucking vending machine and she calmly walks over to get a fire extinguisher. Shatters the glass of the vending machine, which touts itself as having a full range of snacks, I will have you know. And reaches in, grabs her one bag of peanut M&Ms and moves on her way. She
just takes what she paid for, and I love that about her.
Okay, now take us to the end, Jenny.
Ding dong. It's Natalie. Natalie's like, wow, you look pretty. And Misty's like, I have nothing to say to you. And then Natalie's like, well, why did you open the door then? And Misty's like, well, because I just had to say that. And then Natalie apologizes, and Misty thinks it's a trap.
I mean, fair. Has Nat ever apologized?
Sense.
Yeah.
But Natalie, is like, I've been an asshole. You've been there for me in a way no one has. You've been a real friend. I'm sorry. You're just really good at things. And this is like making Misty's day. This is like more than she could have ever dreamed of. And just when she thinks her day can't get any better, Natalie is like, so guess what? We need to dispose of a dead body. And Misty is like, what?
Christina Ricci deserves an award simply for her facial response to the fucking closing shot of this on Christina Ricci's face. I have no words. It's delicious. It's a delicious treat. She's so happy. I mean, like, all of her dreams are coming through. And honestly, to Natalie's credit, most of her apology could be true. The only thing I feel like she probably doesn't believe is that Misty has been a good friend, but she might even believe that if she's contextualizing it for Misty. But you've been there think about the words. You've been there for me like no one else has. Well, that is definitely true. You know what I mean? You're really good at things. Absolutely accurate. I've been an asshole. I mean, clearly, Nat's been an asshole. So, these two, I'll follow them anywhere.
They are great. Love going out on this. Kristin, I've got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What's the most 90s thing?
Mm-hmm.
Is it this fucking caboodle?
Yes.
Is it a makeup and wardrobe getting ready for the big dance montage set to The World I Know by Collective Soul?
Fuck, okay.
Or is it an impromptu a cappella sing-along to Kiss from a Rose that is so powerful it actually summons the real recording from nowhere?
All right. Well, Jenny, I want it so badly to be the caboodle, but it actually isn't, because the caboodle really is late 80s. It rolled over into the 90s, but like the caboodle origin point is 80s for me. And Collective Soul, very 90s. Montage. I mean, very few things can beat a montage as most 90s, except for a sing-along to Seal, Kiss from a Rose in the Woods that summons Seal himself. That's the winner.
Yeah.
That's...
I have another little treat for you.
Oh, so excited.
Do
we get to hide a body? Are we going to hide a body?
No. Sorry.
Damn it.
Sorry.
Okay.
I've started making a game. It's called Yellowjackets, the Drinking Game, Season 1 Edition.
Great.
So here are your first 4 drinking commands.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Am I supposed to rewatch this episode, or is this for the finale?
This is for rewatching season 1.
Again. We're just going to watch it again. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great.
And also, this is not a complete list. This is open to expansion.
Okay.
By all means. Please drink anytime you see antlers on screen.
Nice. Hot. Oh my God. We didn't even talk about the antlers. We have to go put a pin in the antlers. Coming back to them.
Okay. Drink anytime Shauna goes to book club. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Drink anytime someone mentions Randy Walsh with the shrill edge of incredulity in their voice. And drink anytime you feel empathy for Misty. And drink twice if she did something absolutely unforgivable within the last 10 minutes of the episode that you're watching.
Oh, this is going to be a very sloppy game already.
Yeah. Off to the races.
Okay. All right.
So, the antlers.
Yeah, the antlers.
Lottie's wearing them antlers, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's so, like, the moment when she puts the antlers on is, like, you might as well be, like, zooming in from afar. Remember that really, really, really long zoom that we did into Giles's doorway in England?
Hell yeah.
It's like that. It like feels like that, even though it's not that when Lottie puts on those fucking antlers. It's like the real first like antler queen moment that we get.
Yeah.
We've had them, you know, she stood in front of the antlers. But like they're on her fucking head. Okay?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. Well, I guess is it time to go?
Take me.
What's the also the most New Jersey thing is clearly Jeff borrowing money from fucking Meadow Soprano. I don't know what she's up to.
Yeah. There's no competition, so there's no
clearly
question.
Okay, let's go over into what's the buzz.
Okay, so a few casting updates. I can't remember if we've talked about this first one in the last episode or not.
We didn't.
Okay. We're keeping this in What's the Buzz because it feels like the respectful thing to do.
I mean,
even though they're widely announcing it.
But no, I'm rolling my eyes because Jenny and I both are sort of a mind of like, why would you have told us who they're playing? Come on.
Yeah.
Still feels like a spoiler.
Yeah. So we've got the incredible Lauren Ambrose coming in as adult Van. We've got Simone Kessel coming in as adult Lottie. And have you seen the third piece of casting news, Kristin? Okay, great. It's Elijah Wood as Citizen Detective Walter. I am
thrilled. First of all, I cannot express to you how much of a crush I have on Lauren Ambrose. I only watched 6 Feet Under like last year. Like I'd never seen it. I'd seen like an episode or two, but I watched the whole series maybe 2 years ago. But I am in love with her. So I am thrilled. I am beside myself. I could not have thought of anyone better to play Van, who is, I think, my favorite character. So
yeah, I'm excited to hear Lauren Ambrose do Van voice.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I've seen Simone Kessel in anything. I'm not sure. I didn't recognize her.
Right. But the like really, I mean, I think the thing that people are very stoked about is that the actress who plays young Lottie is Maori. And this actress, Simone Kessel, is also Maori, which is, you know, it's like things that we should not have to be like, oh, that's so amazing that you did that. But like, this is where we are. And it's really nice to see that happening. In actual practice. And I mean, she looks amazing and very excited to find out what the fuck adult Lottie is all about.
Yeah. And then as far as Reddit, the only thing I have to report is that like when this episode came out, everyone was in love with Jeff, which makes me so happy. Everyone's just like, Jeff!
Yeah, it's like we kind of loved Jeff even when we thought he was having an affair. And like now he's not even having an affair. He's just great all the way down.
The perfect man.
Huh? Truly. I just want to say Elijah Wood. I mean, you know, I'm excited because there's been a lot of speculation about like what this character might do and blah, blah, blah. But like the citizen detective makes me think that regardless of how he might be integrated into the story, that we will get Elijah Wood and Christina Ricci playing
he's definitely
together.
Yeah, Walter and Misty are for sure going to be interacting.
Which is like, again, you know, like that's just a 90s delight. That's just like, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's tasty. A lot of people, when they think of Elijah Wood, of course, think of Lord of the Rings. I think of The Good Son. That is literally where Elijah Wood is rooted for me forever. The Good Son. Do you remember The Good Son?
I never watched it, but I'm familiar with it.
Oh, God. It's for those of you who don't know, it's Macaulay Culkin and Elijah Wood, and they're both like 7. They're so small, and Macaulay Culkin, I think, is the one that's just like an absolutely terrifying murderer child. And as you would imagine, me at like age 13 or whatever I was obsessed with this movie.
And Elijah Wood and Christina Ricci have appeared together previously in 1997's The Ice Storm. Have you ever seen that?
No, I haven't. Have you?
No.
Oh, well, that seems like something that we could maybe watch before we see them together on the screen in season 2.
Yeah, it seems like it would be smart to watch that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have anything super buzzy, but that makes sense because we're at episode 9 and there's only one more. So, you know.
Yep.
We don't have that much further to travel together. Wow. All right. Well, here we are coming out of What's the Buzz and into the ending. And just for the listeners at home, Frank has entered the office. I can see Frank's tiny little head.
Yeah, he just came in here like Vince McMahon, just like pushing the door open, walking his broad shoulders in here. Hey, buddy.
Hi, Frank.
Okay. He's like, he comes into my office every day at 6:30. He's like, it's over. The workday is over.
Frank.
Come pay attention to me. I'm very majestic.
Providing a service. Oh, sweet Frank.
Yeah. He's the workday. He's like the whistle.
Ugh, my cats
like
just sleep until I stand up. They don't do that.
What was the animal in the Flintstones that they would like pull its tail?
Oh.
And it would scream like a bird or something, like a prehistoric bird?
Yeah, some kind of dinosaur bird. Oh my God. So I spent like a lot of time with a 4-year-old over the last week. And my favorite thing to do is be like, so Charlie, what happened to the dinosaurs? And every time she would look at me and would go, they died. And then would tell me all about the asteroid that hit the planet, and it was really hot, and then it got really cold, and so they couldn't live anymore. They died. They died. Was my favorite bit. We did it.
Well, are we still women vocalizing eerily?
Yeah, that's the bit. That's it.
Do people even like it when we do that?
I don't know, and I don't care, Jenny.
Hell yes! What are you, Jackie, in episode 9? All right. Till next time.
Run. There used to be a graying tower alone on the sea. You became the light on the dark side of me. Love remains a drug that's the high and not the pill. But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become alive and the light that you shine can't be seen? From a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, stranger it feels, yeah. so much a man can tell me, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain, baby. To me, you're like a grown addiction that I can't deny. Won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen? Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. There is so much a man can tell me, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain. To me, you're like a grown addiction that I can't deny. Now won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen? Baby, I can feel you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. Yes, I can pay you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. And now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave.
Hi, I'm Dana Schwartz, and this is Rise or Die, the official companion podcast for Peacock's original series, Those About to Die. On this podcast, I go behind the scenes with the show's cast and creators to learn how they brought their brutal vision of Rome to life. I talked to acclaimed director and executive producer Roland Emmerich,
When I saw the first race, I was like giddy.
actor Ewan Ryan,
For an actor, that's a dream, although you do get a lot of sand in your sandals.
and so many more.
You helped summon those ghosts back onto that stage.
Every day when I went to set, I was giggling about what I saw.
I think it's going to be a breathtaking thing.
People will freak out.
Rise or Die launches on July 18th. Watch or listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Buntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I study the secrets of the divine plagues and uncover the blasphemous truth that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The heresies of Radolf Buntwine, wherever podcasts are available.